Hello, hello, global actors. Hello, Instagram family. I am here on both places today, and I'm so thrilled to be having today's conversation. I'm tuning in from a lovely artist retreat that I'm on this week. I'm here in sunny California, in Pasadena, and it's been really wonderful to be working on my own artistic goals. And today I'm really excited to share with you my takes on VO Atlanta's Audiobook Academy and APAC, Audio Publishers Association's conference. So I had a number of questions come in today, and I'd love to take questions from anyone who's here. So I'd first love to share what these two opportunities are. Then I want to talk a little bit about FOMO that we might be feeling if we're a little bit unsure of if now's the right timing for you to attend either or both. So let's get into it. I'm just going to take a quick sip. If someone can let me know if you can hear me okay. I think I'm connected okay. But just say hey if you are joining me live. If you're watching this on replay, if you have any questions, as questions come up for you, I'll come back to this later on this week and check out questions and share my thoughts. I'd love to know if you're joining me. Thank you, Sarah. If you're joining me, put a 1 in the comments if you've ever attended APAC or the Audiobook Academy before. I'd just love to get to know who's here. Awesome. Welcome, Sarah. Hey, Jacqueline. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Maria. Welcome. Awesome. Thanks, Matt and Amber. Great. Okay, so let's get into it. So both of these conferences can be fabulous opportunities for you to skyrocket forward in your narration and VO career. I've attended both and created some amazing relationships in both. I've also helped a lot of clients make the most of both of these opportunities. So let's begin with what these different conferences are. So I'll begin with VO Atlanta, because in case you didn't know, VO Atlanta, it's their last year. So if you've been thinking about going and you're willing to travel, if you're in a place where travel is something that you're doing right now and you're comfortable going in person, that's something to consider, because it's the very, very last time they'll ever be holding this conference again. So the Audiobook Academy, it's interesting, it's the last year for VO Atlanta live, or ever, I think. And it's the first year that Audiobook Academy will be at VO Atlanta in person. So the Audiobook Academy took place virtually twice in 2021. So I was really excited to get to be a speaker last year in the last fall's Audiobook Academy. So I'll speak a little bit to that in just a moment. And then, so VO Atlanta brings together casting coaches, producers from all over, in all of the different areas of voiceover. So that could be commercial, video games, animation, e-learning, promos, audiobooks. However, the Audiobook Academy is its own thing. So when it comes to making the decision if you're going to do Audiobook Academy or VO Atlanta, you may consider doing both together and doing a combo ticket, especially if you're pursuing multiple parts of a voiceover career. If you're doing commercials, if you're doing video games, or you want to be doing those things, and you're also pursuing audiobooks, it might be a really great fit for you to do that. I'll share a bit more about my experience in a moment, but let me go to APAC. So APAC stands for the Audio Publishers Association's conference. So this conference, it's not the last year. It's a really great opportunity for you to expand your knowledge about the audiobook industry in general. So APAC will be happening just virtually this year. And so it's a really great opportunity to connect with the association once a year. So APA has several events throughout the year, which include socials, which include speed dating sessions, which include webinars, lots of opportunity. So if you are a member of APA, you may or may not even need the conference, depending on where you're at in your path. You may already have all the resources you need without attending the conference, or it might be a good fit. So we'll get into why it might be a good fit for you or not momentarily. If you have a question about either, let me know in the comments and I will get to it. For sure, I want to answer all these live questions, and I also had some questions come in ahead of time. So let me speak to the success I've seen at both conferences. And the first thing I want to say is, first of all, I'm realizing some folks may be listening to me live for the first time. So I just want to introduce myself now that we're a minute or two in. I'm Elise Arsenault. I'm a working actor, audiobook narrator, career and performance coach for actors and narrators. At The Global Actor, which is my organization, I help actors live where they want and work when they want. And one of my favorite ways to do that is by helping actors create really thriving audiobook narration careers. And I do that inside my course, The Great Audiobook Adventure. I also have group coaching inside Momentum Club and small group private coaching inside my power groups. So now I'm about to talk a little bit about how, when I was formulating the Great Audiobook Adventure, I put together, it was a framework that I had used and had worked for many of my clients. So there's a big part of my intro class, Narrate Your Way to Abundance, my free class, where I'm talking about networking. And networking is so possible at these conferences, and it's very possible to do a lot of quality networking all at once if you're ready for it. I say if you're ready for it because if you're not familiar with your craft yet, if you don't have your home studio set up yet, if you don't have competitive marketing materials in place yet, and if you don't feel confident that you're ready to do the job yet, these may not be the best times for you to attend these conferences. I'll just share from my own personal experience, because sometimes I'm hearing a lot of FOMO, like, oh, I better do it this year. Or I don't know why there's such a rush to just get to the next thing, but I really encourage you to be where you're at and be okay where you're at. If you're hearing me and you're saying, yes, but I have all those things ready, then great. These events are probably going to be for you. But if you have just started the Great Audiobook Adventure course and you're just working through translating your craft and starting to put your home studio together, I don't think you have to rush. I don't think you have to rush to sign up. My own experience, the first time I attended APAC was, I already had 40 or 60 audiobooks under my belt. All that to say, you don't have to attend these conferences in order to get work. I just wanted to make that clear. And then my first time attending VO Atlanta, I was attending VO Atlanta primarily to expand into video games and animation. And so at VO Atlanta, I had the opportunity to attend a session where one of the video game casting directors was really so thoughtful. His session just really took me through the audition process. He shared examples of successful and unsuccessful auditions that he's heard and how to stand out and what worked for him. So as I share in the Great Audiobook Adventure and all of the work that I do with actors and narrators around building relationships, everyone is different. Everyone has their own process. Everyone has their own preferences. So if you're not already, be taking notes every time you're meeting someone new in the industry of what their likes are. Their likes, their preferences doesn't mean that's true for the whole industry, but what is it for that person so you can connect with that person? Okay, so let me take you through this. So the casting director I met at VO Atlanta went to his session and then had the opportunity to network with him afterwards, okay? And that is a big reason why, if you're thinking of doing VO Atlanta Audiobook Academy and you're thinking of really building some relationships here, attending in person is the way to go. I understand it's still a pandemic, so I'm not saying you must do that. I'm aware of the risks inherent there. However, the virtual experience is not going to include getting to network with the speakers. They're going to be busy networking in person, Okay. Doesn't mean if you attend virtually, you're not going to get some value from it. But I think attending these conferences, one of the biggest reasons to do that is to network. Okay. So does anybody have any questions so far? Let me know. Oh, I'm frozen. Oh no. Okay. Well, if you can't see me or hear me right now on Instagram, thanks for letting me know, Linda. I don't know if you can hear me at all. You might want to jump into the Facebook group, and I'll be sharing a recording of this later on. Let me just, yeah, no, I'm just going to trust that if I'm not meant to be on Instagram, that's okay. And we'll just keep going here in the Facebook group. Okay, so those are some of my first thoughts around VO Atlanta. What I'd like for you to do to decide if it's right for you, going to VO Atlanta Audiobook Academy, is getting clear on what your goal is. What is your goal for the year? Oh, you can see and hear me, Danielle? Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks, Danielle. Thanks, Rebecca. Okay, cool. All right. So you'll be able to catch this on replay, Linda. Okay, let me go back to my notes here because I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So VO Atlanta Audiobook Academy, does anybody have any specific questions that have come up so far? Okay, cool. Yeah, Lauren, I love that you just shared that. Be where you're at. You needed that. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Yeah. You know, so many times in my own career, and I've seen this in other people's career, if we do things before we feel ready, we're just going to feel angsty. And when we're feeling angsty, if we're showing up with that angsty energy, it's not the best first impression. So there's no need to rush to do these things. Again, as I said, it is the last year for VO Atlanta, but if you're not there yet, don't stress about it. Okay, let me share a couple stories about, I'm going to share a couple stories about VO Atlanta from some of my clients and my own experience there. So I did just share, I started sharing about the video game casting director I met. So I went to his thing. It was so specific, and I was like, this is so cool. He's literally telling us what his casting process is like. I got to hear an actress who had booked the role. I heard exactly why, and it helped me in my own process. My auditions for video games really, and commercials, and really everything kind of got up leveled from hearing his advice that day. Then I had the opportunity to meet him later on at a bar at the hotel, and I really liked what he had to say, and I just felt like I connected with him. What I loved about him was that he also, like me, was not based primarily in LA or New York. So I loved the global aspect of being able to do this from anywhere that he had. So I felt that connection, and we got to talking. And then we traded business cards, and I think like the week I got back, I reached out to him with my materials. He got back to me. He started sending me auditions. I would say probably the third audition I did for him, I booked my first video game. So that was a super tangible thing. So I think in going to these conferences, when you invest, when you're ready and you invest and you confidently show up with a plan, you can easily make back your investment and more. So for me, I made way more of my investment back from that one booking I got. And then VO Atlanta for audiobooks. One of my clients was with me at that conference, and it was great because he had a specific goal of wanting to work with producers and publishers for the first time. And if you're working through the Great Audiobook Adventure process, one of my favorite things is gathering referrals and seeing if there's someone who could introduce you to someone. And I was able to do that for him, and he met a publisher at the conference and followed up and got a 3-book series, his first series with a publisher. So those are some wins that I've seen happen. And whether it's VO Atlanta Audiobook Academy or APAC, It works if you have a plan. Okay, so I would just say don't go to either of these things blindly. So showing up for today's Q&A is a great place to start. When it comes to networking, I've linked in the Facebook group, and then in Instagram, you can check the links in my bio. I've shared a networking article that I wrote for Backstage that I think is going to give you some really great steps to start thinking about how you're going to network at these events. And then another is a networking challenge. So if you are really scared of meeting people and really nervous about that, my networking challenge might be a fun way for you to just make it a game. Just make it a game. Yeah. Okay. So the question to ask is, what are your main goals? What is your goal for the year? And does attending that conference fit in alignment of that? If you are looking to meet lots of publishers, the Audio Publishers Association conference is probably the best place to go. If you're looking for, again, as I said, if you're pursuing voiceover in other beyond audiobooks, you may consider doing that combo. Someone was asking, I'll take a few of these questions and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about APAC. Someone was asking, for VO Atlanta, do you think it's worth it if I can only go to the virtual sessions? And I think it depends on what your goals are. If you're just looking to gather more information, the virtual session is the way to go. But if you're looking to network and build relationships, you could make that virtual session work for you. And let me tell you how you might do that. What I recommend always when attending any conference is doing the research ahead of time. Who is going to be there? Making a list of the speakers, or just checking out the list and noting, oh, that's someone I want to meet, that's someone I want to meet, that's someone I want to meet, and coming up with your own target list of who you want to meet there, or whose sessions you would like to attend. Who do you really want to prioritize connecting with? And what I like to do is send a note out ahead of time. So send an email before the conference, maybe a week or two before, letting this person know that you are attending the conference and you're looking forward to hearing all about whatever their panel or speaking session is about. Sorry, I just thought I heard someone at the door. Okay, I think I'm okay to keep going. So I like to send a note ahead of time, then show up confidently and meet that person in person or virtually at the event if I can, and then follow up afterwards. So follow up afterwards, noting something that you connected with, that they talked about, or you talked about together if you did get to meet one-on-one, and then keep that conversation going. Okay, so whether that's virtual or in person, I think you can do this in both ways. However, Lee, actually, so sorry, that wasn't Lee. Yeah, the other question. So I don't know. If it were me, I wouldn't, for me and my goals, I don't, let me speak a little bit more about the specificity of Audiobook Academy. Audiobook Academy was created for folks with, I think 50 or fewer audiobooks under your belt. So if you have more than that, you might not need it. And I would do the research. If you're looking to build publisher relationships right now, look into who the speakers are. Okay. I think I'm saying the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to move on from that point. Okay. So again, you want to think about your main goals for the year and does this event fit the plan and how will I make the most of it? Another question that came up about Audiobook Academy, will it be accessible on my own time or will they only be available during the times that they are airing? That's a good question. I would double check and just see what it says on the registration page. I believe there will be recordings for a limited time. And then someone else said, I get a bit disappointed when I cannot attend networking and educational events because of my work schedule. Also, do you purchase? Okay, so let's just look at that. If you're disappointed when you can't attend some of these things, you don't have to attend every event that's happening. But what are your goals around networking for you and what your goal is this year? Have you broken down a plan for networking? And this person is in Momentum Club, so we can definitely talk further about what is a networking plan, how to put that in place, what conferences are in alignment with your networking plan for 2022. And then the final question from this person is, do you purchase one or two of the classes, or is it a package purchase such as APAC? Okay, good question. I think you're talking about X sessions. So X sessions are separate training that is only happening in person at the Audiobook Academy. I'm so excited. I'm teaching 2 X sessions. So the X session opportunity is a really great place to do a deep dive. I got to do a deep dive with the casting director of Blizzard a couple of years ago, and it was amazing. You get 3 hours in a small group with an industry professional, and you really do a deep dive. So the deep dives I'm doing this year that I'd love to share is the session I did last year, which is called the Empowered Narrator. And we're really going to take a look, talking about goals. We're going to take a look at your life right now, your career right now, what you want it to be, and put a solid plan in place. We'll have 3 hours together to put a solid plan in place so that you can know what's ahead of you, so that when these conference questions come up, you are clear right away. Yes, that's for me. No, that's not for me. And the FOMO starts to go away because you're in action every day on things that are specifically going to move you forward. So in that, the Empowered Narrator session, we'll pull from some of the components of the Dream Big, Plan Smart training that I do, but we're just going to go further in depth because we're just going to have more quality time together. Then also I'm teaching a X session called Deepening Your Character Creation. So if you've ever wondered about your characters when you're doing fiction, if they're too big, or if you feel like I just can't do character voices, or you have nowhere to start, or you feel like you could get better at it, this would be the workshop for you. We're going to do a deep dive into the craft, into casting characters, into coming up with your own system that's going to work for you based on how you naturally are, based on your experience that you already have. So some of you are coming to this process experienced narrators with a couple decades under your belt. We'll take that experience and customize it for you so you can come up with a plan that will work for any character that comes your way, in any genre too. So we're going to be looking at creating characters for many different genres in fiction. We'll also talk a little bit about when characters appear in nonfiction and how to handle that as well. So X sessions are separate. If you're signing up for Audiobook Academy virtually, then you don't have access to those sessions. So I hope that answers that question. Okay, another question came in. For VO Atlanta, do you think it's worth it if I can only go to this? Okay, I already answered that. One more question. Are we supposed to register again for individual sessions? So the X sessions, you do need to register for them separately. Those are add-ons, but they're very specific small training. So it's not that expensive for the kind of attention that you're going to be getting. I think it's like $147, $197 per each 3-hour workshop. And again, you're going to get a lot of individual attention in those. Oh, someone asked, do you think there's something new to the audiobook sessions that isn't part of the Great Audiobook Adventure? So do I think there's something new to the Audiobook Academy that isn't part of the Great Audiobook Adventure? Great question. So I created the Great Audiobook Adventure to be an all-in-one craft, marketing, building relationships, juggling your career with the other things happening in your life and the rest of your acting career. So ultimately, everything you need is in the course. What you get by attending some of these sessions is a different perspective. But for me, it's a relationship building. So that's really why I attend the conference. I think I've said it multiple times. Who do you need to know? Who's going to be at these conferences that you can start building relationships with? That's my take on it. Okay, I think that's it for the questions that came in ahead of time. Oh, one more. Will registrants receive the Zoom info on the day of or prior to the events? Oh, that's a good question. That's an administrative question to just ask the folks who are running Audiobook Academy. I would just, go to whatever email they have available and ask that question. What is different about VO Atlanta from APAC? Okay, so VO Atlanta, what is different? I think I've already shared a bit about how VO Atlanta in general encompasses all areas of voiceover, and Audiobook Academy is audiobook training. It's like its own mini conference within the conference. I don't think there's going to be as many publishers there, but there's going to be a lot of like coaching conversations, a lot of craft stuff, a lot of business stuff. So a lot of that, what we're already talking about in the Great Audiobook Adventure, and you'll just get some different perspectives there. Whereas APAC is run by a huge organization, the APA, and that is just specific to audiobooks. Lots of publishers will be there. You'll have the opportunity to virtually network in the bubbles. It was really, really fun last year to see how many audiobook adventurers there were. Really, it's a great way to connect. And if you have a list of people you're working on building relationships with, you could have the opportunity to connect one-on-one with those folks. What are the pros of attending it in addition to APAC? I think it just depends on what your goals are. So if there is particularly a session that you've seen that you haven't learned anything about, that you've just got a lot of questions about, that might be a good opportunity for you. At this point, I'd love to hear from people personally. Where are you at? And if you're not sure yet, what's going to be best? Because I don't think the pros, that part, I think I've covered that at this point. So I'm curious if anybody has any personal questions for where they're at. So let me just take a quick look at the questions that have come in. Okay. Thank you, Danielle. Okay, Danielle's question. Are there other voiceover conferences to attend besides VO Atlanta? Good question. Yeah, there are. I haven't been to any other ones besides those two. So I would just kind of Google and see what comes up, or you could post about it. But yeah, there are other conferences. And again, you don't necessarily have to attend conferences in order to get some of the value of networking in other places, for instance, like the APA socials and things like that. But yeah, there are other conferences. I don't know. I feel like VO Atlanta is one of the biggest ones. But I know there was one that used to be surrounding the Sovis Awards. I'm not sure if that's been happening in virtual pandemic times or not. I'm going to head over to the Facebook group now and see if there are any questions. Okay, Marcus, thanks for asking. Does Audiobook Academy happen outside VO Atlanta? Or will it continue in the future even though VO Atlanta is ending? I think this is the last year for Audiobook Academy as well. VO Atlanta is run by one person, so it's not run by an organization like APA. And so I think that person has decided, okay, this is it. This is the last year. So I don't think that will continue to happen. Yeah, let's talk through Meet the Producers and how to best prepare. Great question, Matt. So let's talk about the APA speed dating and Meet the Producers events. So inside APAC, the Audio Publishers Association's conference, there are a couple opportunities that you can sign up for. And if you have applied for speed dating, let's need a sip. If you've applied for speed dating, you've already found out now if you got in. If you did get into speed dating, if you haven't yet, I highly, highly, highly recommend signing up for the Global Actor Prep Session with Jennifer Aquino. Community mentor, and she is the coach of these sessions. These sessions with Jennifer are invaluable. I did get a couple questions via email over the weekend about wanting to do Jennifer's session, but not being in Momentum Club. So Jennifer's sessions are housed within Momentum Club because attending speed dating is really all about the momentum. So you'll want to have the support of following through. Speed dating is all about beginning a relationship and following it through. Okay. And the investment of that session is, say you're not in Momentum Club and you're thinking of investing, think about what you're going to make in what the session will be paid for in one finished hour of working with any big 5 publisher or any really indie publisher. So if you're on the fence, if you did get into speed dating, remember you're only going to get this opportunity once every 2 years at the very most. So why not show up with the best impression you can possibly give? Okay, Meet the Producers is a great opportunity to work one-on-one with an industry professional. I'm not exactly sure what the time, if you have like 10 minutes with a person or 20 minutes with a person, but you will be paired with someone who could be a director, could be a publisher, could be a producer, could be, I think that covers who you're going to be connected with. Yeah. And you want to bring a piece that you're very comfortable with that really shows you off. So they're going to give you what the timeline is of, like, again, I would always aim for like 1 to 3 minutes of narration that you're going to share. So you'll get to live read for the person that you're meeting, and they'll give you feedback. Maybe they'll give you another take, and then you get to have a conversation with them. So really have fun prepping for this, thinking about what you want to know about this person and what you want them to know about you. It's just a really great opportunity to be actually paired with someone without having to be at a networking event trying to move your way to that person. You are just paired with someone for that amount of time. So it's been a really great opportunity. For me, it's led to auditions and eventual bookings. But even without those auditions and bookings, it was really great to just get to chat and get feedback from another person. The first session I did like this, this session used to be called Director Diagnostics. And the first person I was paired up with was Caitlin Gehring from Harper. And I had a lovely session with Caitlin, and I shared my piece with her, and the feedback she gave me was around my male voices. And just that one session alone has really shifted the way I approach male voices today. I was just really going really low to do a guy's voice, and at times hurting myself doing that over a full book. And so she really, just that one pointer she gave me of, yeah, you don't need to go so low. Why don't you try it again, but just not as low, just with the attitude of that male character, but you don't have to go so vocally low. So that alone, that one piece of advice, that specific meeting did not lead to a quick booking after that. But I got that lovely golden nugget that has impacted the way I approach my narration. So be open to what comes up. And with any of these events, I think it's important to take time to feel really good about yourself. So do things that make you feel comfortable and happy with yourself, whether that's like lighting a candle, whether that's having like a dance break ahead of time, whether it's putting affirmations all around your computer screen, whatever it is, it's worth doing that prep work so that you can show up and fully be yourself and give that person the opportunity to see you as you want to be seen. Okay, Rebecca asks, in a session last week, they said it would likely be about 15 minutes for Meet the Producers. Yeah, that's great. So 15 minutes is great. I think one of the times I did it, it was like 10 minutes. It doesn't really, I mean, any bit of time, just make the most of it. And yeah, have some questions prepared and be open to being asked questions. If you haven't yet, if you're in the Great Audiobook Adventure, check out the bonus training. It's in the epilogue of the course. And we share a bunch more Meet the Producer tips and speed dating tips. Shout out to Jennifer Aquino. She shares a bit about the speed dating as well. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to share about that. No, speed dating happens a few times a year. Meet the Producers happens just once a year. Speed dating happens, right now there are 3 sessions that they just released, and then I think it's going to happen a couple more times this year. Oh, let me speak to that as well. I know if you're in the Great Audiobook Adventure, you've seen so much success happening for folks who've gone through speed dating and following up consistently after that. Remember that you don't have to get in to speed dating in order to be building these relationships. If you don't know, I didn't get into speed dating. I've been narrating for 7 years now, and my first time doing speed dating was last year. So I did over 100, I don't know, 120, 30 audiobooks before I even had that speed dating opportunity. So attending speed dating is not the only way to build relationships with publishers. Publisher reach outs. Don't forget, chapter 7 of the course. Okay. Yay. Thanks, Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer, I'm so glad you're here. Is there anything else I didn't cover that you're wondering? Let me just go through my notes real quick. I think that's everything I wanted to say. So again, before attending either of these conferences, I don't recommend going if your craft is not ready, if you're not home studio ready, and your marketing materials are not ready. If you're not ready to be booking work, especially APA, APAC. I think the Audiobook Academy is more of a learning thing, so it's more learning, less networking if you're not going to be attending live. So I'd love to know, how are you feeling now with the information that I've shared? Let us know. Are you attending one? Are you attending both? Which one are you attending? Or if you still have questions, so that if you haven't been able to make that best decision for yourself yet, let me know if you have any questions. I'm just gonna grab a sip of coffee while I wait. Annie, in what platform is Meet the Producers conducted? And do we have to reapply each year? Great question. That's a good question. I actually don't know. I'm assuming it's through the conference portal and it'll be a Zoom session. But I would reach out to audio publishers if you have that specific question. You can reach out to them at info@audiopub.org. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Steve. One Voice Conference. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, cool. Steve is doing both and very excited to meet Elise, Jennifer, and others live in Atlanta. Yay, Steve. I'm looking forward to meeting you. It's going to be really fun. Both of these it's going to be fun. If you like meeting new people, you're going to have a great time. If you are nervous about meeting new people, keep showing up. Let's keep talking about it. You can still have a really, really fun time. Check out my networking things, ask questions. Let me see. Okay, so Rebecca's attending both virtually. Awesome, Rebecca. That's great. And then Marcus, the next 2 speed dating sessions are available for registration now, but we won't find out until a month before if we win the lottery. Yes. Oh, you're so welcome, Catherine. Will I be able to see a recording of this as well? Yeah. Yeah, this will be on replay in the Global Actors Group. I'm also starting to put these trainings on my YouTube channel. I'm getting back to my YouTube, so if you want to just do that, that'll be up later this week. Yay, Lauren, registered for virtual APAC. So good. And it was great. Lauren, I met Lauren last year at the Audiobook Academy. And that, again, that small group training I did there, it's like the power group experience. I'm really getting to work with you in a very small, intimate way on your personal goals. I just wanted to share that because I'm very excited about that session. Great. Rebecca's doing Meet the Producers. Sarah is attending APAC, signed up before I knew about VO Atlanta. Good, Sarah. And if you're in a place where you're going to be ready to do the work, APAC's going to be great for you. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Okay. And Sarah, okay, yeah. Yeah, if you can't afford to do it all, that's okay too. So both of these conferences I didn't go to until I was making money in the industry. So if you're in a place where these investments don't feel right for you right now, it's okay. You will make money and you will be able to invest that back in. So I'm glad you're sharing that. Okay, cool. And Marcus is attending APAC and hoping to be matched for Meet the Producers. Awesome. Oh, good, Brian. I know it can be really disappointing for speed dating to not get in. I applied for years and then I stopped applying and then I started again. So it's an exciting, very cool opportunity, but there are other ways to make it happen. Yay to APAC and Meet the Producers. Okay. Yeah, yeah. The Audiobook Academy is very early on the West Coast. Yeah. Well, I think it's intended to be in person, but the pandemic is still happening, which is why they're making it virtual. I think it's actually been virtual before, so it's just the recordings. I think you're still going to get a lot of value if you do it that way. Again, it's just the networking that you'll miss out on. Yay to APAC, Matt. Awesome. Okay, cool. I think I've got one more question here and then we'll wrap. Knowing that if I don't have those three things set up, wait for now, which again would be good for the beginner. Okay, Teeny does. I don't know you yet, but Teeny does. I'm wondering if you currently have a system for those things, for getting your craft ready, home studio ready, and marketing materials in place. If you don't, I highly recommend signing up for my free masterclass, Narrate Your Way to Abundance, where I teach you how to put all of these things together. So the link is in my bio for that. So the one for the beginners, the conference for the beginners, I would say would be Audiobook Academy. It's meant for folks who've done, I believe, 50 or fewer audiobooks. Awesome. Yeah, my pleasure. And again, yeah, what I'm sharing today is my opinions, my experience, what I've seen with working well for my clients. And take what you're hearing from me today and run it through your own filter and decide what's going to be best for you. I just wanted to relieve some FOMO that I was seeing pop up in all the different places, which is why I wanted to share the info and experience that I've had. And I hope this has been helpful to you. Let me just read a few more of these comments. Yeah, and if you're not ready this year, next year, APAC is going to be for you. Yay, Catherine, excited to get the shot at speed dating this time and be able to coach with Jennifer. But it's good to know that there are other avenues for all of us. Yeah, Catherine, I'm excited for you too. You're going to get so much out of coaching with Jennifer. So good. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, good. You're taking classes this month. Great. Excellent. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. If you are listening on replay and have questions, please share them in the comments. I will come back later on and answer your personal questions. Thank you so much for being here. We are opening our Clubhouse room again this Friday. Come join us. If you're not yet on Clubhouse, I highly recommend you come join us in the Global Actor Lounge. We meet there every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific to celebrate. If you feel you could up your networking game, I recommend clicking on some of the links above, and I'll be posting in the comments here on Instagram. Actually, I won't be posting. Go to the links in my bio to get my networking article and my networking challenge game. Check that out. And no matter what, you are going to be surrounded by community. I'm going to be in both places and I can't wait. I've been a speaker before at both conferences. They're both very valuable. If you see me there, come and say hi. I would love to meet you both virtually and in person. So let's do this. And I'm there for you at those conferences too. I can answer any questions that come up. So really, really excited for everyone who's taking the leap and continuing to invest in their careers, and wishing you all a wonderful rest of your beautiful Sunday, and we'll see you soon. Let me say goodbye to Instagram first. Bye, Instagram. Okay. And bye, Facebook. Thanks, everyone. Yay, Jennifer. Can't wait to see you at both too. Awesome. Good stuff, everyone. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.